So next I'd like to talk about what could be a very interesting casualty of this writer's strike, and that is the streaming service Paramount Plus. This last week, Paramount Plus released some good and bad news to the public. For one, the streaming service gained 60 million subscribers in the first quarter, which is good. It shows that the network has been growing. They definitely had some success with Star Trek. Star Trek Picard Season 3 was a hit. Strange New Worlds Season 1 was also a hit. Paramount Plus also had hits with Yellowstone, Mayor of Kingstown, and Tulsa King, which just came out with Sylvester Stallone. But with all that great new content, they still took a big loss in regards to their quarterly earnings and their advertiser revenue. In the first quarter, the streaming service lost $1.23 billion with a B dollars. And with that announcement, the streaming service stock dropped 1/3 of its value in just one day. I believe it has dropped more value since then. That is not good at all. And really, the problem for Paramount Plus is that they're in a position they can't win because they've got 4 streaming services that are more popular than them: Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max, which is soon going to just be called Max, or maybe they're already called Max. All of those 4 streaming services are huge, and Paramount Plus is never going to catch them. They're never going to catch Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, or Max. Behind Paramount Plus in the streaming wars currently are Peacock, who is funded by Universal/Comcast, Apple TV, and Amazon Prime. So while those 3 services are behind Paramount Plus right now, they are way better funded than Paramount is and will eventually take over. So really, Paramount Plus is in a no-win situation. And we're also at a point right now where I think it's agreed upon that there are just too many streaming services, and the public just are tired of trying to remember which streaming service they have to order and what show is on where and what do I need. And you're seeing a lot of these streaming services combine, like we just saw HBO and Discovery combine, and Showtime combined with Paramount. You're already seeing the streaming services dwindle down and dwindle down and dwindle down. And I think that the next streaming service that will be dwindled is Paramount Plus. The CFO of Paramount Plus in the past week stated that to cut costs, they're looking to produce content offshore, again, in other countries, which would not be affected by the strikes that I just mentioned earlier. And they're looking to produce content in lower cost formats and beginning to use artificial intelligence tools, which, according to the CFO, produces some really high quality results and very compelling economics. It does look like to me that the best option for Paramount Plus in 2023 would be to just shut its doors and kill the streaming service. Now, what happens to the content on Paramount Plus if it decides to shut its doors? Well, then they become a studio that sells content. So Star Trek wouldn't go away. It's not like if Paramount Plus shut down that all the Star Trek shows would immediately end. Paramount would sell Star Trek to Netflix or Hulu or HBO Max, and they would just get residuals off that airing and produce the content as a studio instead of as a studio and a streaming service. Sony is kind of the archetype for this model. They do not have a streaming service. I believe they briefly flirted with one, but since then they have no streaming service, and now they just sell off their content to other studios. All those were sold off to other producers so they just could create the content and then make money off the residuals. So I think that makes more sense for Paramount Plus to do in the future. It does look like they've slowed down with Star Trek. You know, they were going to produce a film and have 5 series going at the same time. Now we have 1 film that is going right to streaming in Section 31, and we only have 2 live series in Strange New Worlds and Starfleet Academy, and we have Lower Decks and Prodigy, but Prodigy may not continue after Season 2. So it does look like Paramount is starting to dwindle down Star Trek as well. So it may behoove Star Trek to get produced by a different streaming service so Paramount can concentrate on just creating Star Trek and somebody else can distribute it. But let me know, what do you think about Paramount Plus shutting down? It makes a lot of sense for Paramount Plus to do this. I don't see a way for them to win. There's no way they're going to be a bigger streaming service than any of the 4 in front of them. And sooner or later, the 3 behind them are going to catch them, and they're going to be losing billions of dollars just to be in like 7th place, which makes no sense to me. So I believe that by the end of 2023, we could see Paramount Plus shutting its doors. But let me know, what do you think of Paramount Plus? Do you like the service, or would you not mind if Star Trek was just released on Netflix or Hulu in the future? Let me know in the comments below. Hey everyone, Eric here. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. This was taken from my weekly podcast, WDIM News, which you can catch each Monday on this channel. If you would like to check out the full podcast, you can do so by clicking on this video here. Make sure that you not only hit the like button to help support me, but also hit the subscribe button so that you know when my new videos come out. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next time on What Did I Miss?